We welcome you to beautiful lit up Estadio León in Mexico. Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League is on the air. It's the round of 16, leg number 2. From Guatemala, it's Guastatoya. From Mexico, Club León. Mike Watts, glad to welcome you here tonight. 69 degrees, perfectly nice night for the beautiful game. No chance of rain in the forecast. Wind is legitimately a non-factor. Fans have made their way in here, as León fans certainly expect to move on and into the quarterfinal for the first time in the Champions League area. You take a look at the bracket in the upper left corner, and Seattle getting all they can handle from Motagua, a finalist in CONCACAF League last year. The winner of this matchup will face the winner of that one. Meanwhile, Comunicaciones is bringing the upset of the first round in the first leg, at least. We'll take on Colorado on the bottom half of this side of the bracket. Let's take you back to last week, leg number 1 between León and Guastatoya. And it was balls over the top that Guastatoya really struggled to deal with. Not a half-bad effort, but certainly off the mark from Elias Hernandez. Skip ahead into the 21st minute. Guastatoya coming up with a half chance. There's the early difference maker, 24th minute of play. It was a Guastatoya side that stood up pretty well early, but Omar Hernandez scores 1-0 to León. León would go right back to the well. Skip ahead to the 34th minute. There's Hernandez getting his goal. Shots 15-7, passes 747 to 304. 92% completion from León. They certainly made this feel like their home in front of what was a rowdy, if small, contingent of Guastatoya faithful. León trying from distance early in the second half. In the 73rd minute, best chance for Guastatoya perhaps. Speared header handled by Cota. And as this game moved into the latter stages, save from De Lemos wouldn't have counted either way. 2-0 to León after one leg. And that brings us to Estadio León today. There's a healthy consideration about Guastatoya in the CONCACAF region. They've got such a unique logo, such a passionate fan base. Guatemala has struggled to make significant inroads in Champions League in this most recent era. And yet it feels like with Comunicaciones coming up with a significant result against Colorado, Guastatoya somewhat holding their own against León, even if the statistics don't seem to back it up, that perhaps this is the beginning of something significant in Guatemalan football. If you look at Guastatoya right now, they are the lone undefeated team remaining in Guatemala. 5 wins, 3 draws. Their defense best in the league, and their offense isn't far behind. It's a group that sits first in the table, and without doubt, they're hoping that domestic form can carry into international play. Conversely, for Club León, the fans that have arrived here were well aware that the duty of having to go for 2 trophies at once means that rotation will be the name of the game. As a result, after León secured 2 road goals in the opening leg, they're only going to have 4 starters from that first leg playing here tonight, at least at the outset. 2 haven't made the 18 at all, in Barreto and Osvaldo Rodriguez. But what is known is that we'll get a better look at their outside back, Oscar Villa, who wears 208 in Liga MX, wears number 36 in Champions League. This will be his first team debut. And they do get to return a 33-year-old Uruguayan who dealt with a non-COVID related illness a week ago in Gary Cajelmacher. The public address announcer welcoming the teams onto the field. The fans here will do the same. It is a stadium that has hosted World Cups, and it is a stadium with tremendous history. And yet in this competition, that history for León certainly lacking. This is their 4th Champions League appearance. They have never advanced in a knockout stage yet. The expectation when the draw came, this was their year. Club León takes the field in front of their faithful. For Guastatoya, the light perhaps has never shined brighter on this club than it does tonight. León of Mexico, Guastatoya of Guatemala. Second leg in the round of 16 commences in mere minutes. Well, I mentioned all the history of Club León in this competition, some of it not so friendly. Perhaps it's only adequate that the CONCACAF Champions League anthem of a few years ago is the one that plays. Let's meet the lineup for Ariel Holland. Again, only 4 holdovers from the lineup that they played a week ago. And a 2-1 win over Chivas on the weekend puts them in far better standing within the league. Cota captains the side from goal. Hernandez remains in the lineup after scoring the opener a week ago. Colombato and Elias Hernandez remain as well. They are without their 2 center backs, one of which, Mosquera, is on the bench. Barreto is getting the night off. Club León 6-3-1 in home games in Champions League, hoping to continue that. Flip of the coin from Danian Parchment of Jamaica. Oversaw a CONCACAF League final. Saprissa 1, Motagua 0. He oversaw the 2021 Olympic qualifying final. He was the VAR in a round of 16, leg number 1 a week ago. Mario Acevedo sending out this lineup for Guastatoya. Down but not out. Nestor Hukup comes into midfield. He'll replace Dylan Palencia. More notably, however, Christian Reyes comes into the lineup. No Jairo Ariola. He was injured in the first 15 minutes, the 36-year-old, in the first leg. There's the VAR. Edvin Jurcevic of the United States will oversee the match, the eye in the sky. And with that in mind, we close in on kickoff. Winner of this tie will face either Motagua or Seattle, who settled for a 0-0 draw in Honduras a week ago. Look at the León bench, led by Holland, the 61-year-old Argentine manager. Adrian de Lemos, how many more trips does he have to international competition? The 39-year-old Costa Rican who made 3 saves a week ago. What lies ahead for Mario Acevedo's side, who all but said anything less than perfection likely leaves them on the outside looking in come the quarterfinals of Champions League. Ultimately, Acevedo felt they were beat exactly how they thought they could be beaten. Can they fix that a week further up the line? Time will tell. Scarcely attended. Could this be infamous? Or does León finally step through the doorway and into the next round of Champions League? A long-awaited trip to the quarterfinals. Danian Parchment awaits the signal. Champions League has returned to León. It is Club León of Mexico and Guastatoya of Guatemala meeting in the second leg of the round of 16, with León leading 2-0. Mentioned at the outset tonight that León over 700 passes in the opening leg, outpassing this Guastatoya side 2.5-1. Guastatoya certainly will expect to take plenty of pressure here tonight. Early foul into the back of Jose Marquez. Colombato was the primary metronome in midfield last time around. Fidel Ambriz, who came off the bench in the opening leg, offering a physical opening salvo. Clever turn from the only player from Guastatoya that got ruckus applause from this venue, Luis Angel Landin, the 36-year-old native of Mexico, who played for Pachuca, Cruz Azul, Morelia, among others. Last time he played on this ground, 2013. Bypassing Villa. Out toward Ormeño. Short of Martinez. Reyes. He's fouled. Bit overzealous start from Hernandez. He's likely earned himself at least the raise of an eyebrow from the referee. The athletic trainer will sit for now. Reyes, one of the longtime players for Guastatoya, tailing all the way back to 2014. Guastatoya gets an early goal here. Suddenly all bets are off. Vargas. Not away from Morales. De Lemos. Played for almost all the big clubs in Costa Rica. Arellano, Saprissa, the Santos de Aguapolis side that also features in this tournament. Didn't feature for Alajuelense. We'll give them a bit of a pass. Fourth minute scoreless, 2-0 to León in aggregate, and León takes over in the attacking half. Villa. Colombato receives the foul. Mr. Huku. Villa. To try and put what Guastatoya is attempting to do here in some measure of context. This is the 10th meeting in a knockout stage between Mexican and Guatemalan sides. Clean scoop by Holland. Mexican teams 5 wins, 4 draws, haven't lost. The latest collision in what's been a very stop and start beginning. Most of the damage was done there by Ruben Morales. Another free kick. This time it's Martinez. Morales making his presence known again. Martinez and Colombato stand over the ball. For Martinez, his 6th appearance in a León shirt. Colombato. Dominguez put under pressure. Pushed ahead by Hernandez. Sliced upfield by Pineda, came up short of Landin. Colombato. Well won by Guastatoya. Landin. Clever. Hernandez left that short, but turned back over. Vargas. Pineda. Just hasn't been sharp enough possessing the ball. Martinez did well to keep some semblance of that. Throw for León. In total, Guatemalan teams have won 3 of the 27 matches against sides from Mexico in Champions League in this modern era of the competition. Not to make a mountain of a molehill, but it would in fact likely take the perfection Mario Acevedo alluded to in his pre-match press conference. Ball rolled ahead, Martinez. Martinez creates the space. Good slide in, keeps the shot from sneaking through to De Lemos. Just the sudden burst from Martinez looked well marked. Villa did really well here, the 20-year-old. Now he turns on the Jets in a wonderful sliding challenge. Keep this from being a potential third for León. Wilson Pineda all the way back. Deeper we get in this match here tonight, the more likely you'll see him high up the field. And that's not a statement of the score line, but rather a natural inclination. Hernandez. Colombato. Hernandez. Hernandez rolls ahead. Ball was aimed for Armeño. Landin. Vargas. Well, Pineda fires up the line. Just been too slow to really challenge León at this point. There's room in the wide area. Would have been if Armeño could get there. Came down to Hernandez. Rolls this ahead. The flag late arriving. What a career for Luis Angel Landin. Clearly must be in its twilight, all things considered. There's that initial ball a moment ago. The flag did remain down. Officials for the second consecutive Champions League tournament in Concacaf will have access to VAR, which of course concluded Champions League in 2021. Advantage played. León 2 goals up, the 2 road goals in Guatemala City last week. There's the dicing ball over the top. Flag is down! What a finish! Again, it's Elias Hernandez, his second of the tie. 3-0 León in aggregate.
Gol del Club León.
Message clear from a player with 9 years experience in El Tri. This is the ball that absolutely undid Guastatoya for both goals in the opening leg. The long diagonal, such a clinical touch from Hernandez. And De Lemos left on an island. And that eliminates any chance of penalties in this first match in the round of 16. Guastatoya now will need 3 road goals to overcome the deficit. It's frustrating if you're Guastatoya. They've only allowed 4 goals in the domestic league in Guatemala in 8 games. They've conceded 3 times now in 101 minutes in Champions League. Certainly a step up in competition. León, Apertura runners up in penalties. They're 8th right now in Mexico, coming off a win against Chivas. Talk of needing perfection. Ultimately, they'll come short of that goal. This is where León can be a true tidal wave. Ball whipped wide of the post with De Lemos giving a half-hearted wave. What a gorgeous view that is. Colombato picking out his target. Pinpoint accuracy. It was the 12th match of this Champions League campaign, rather 12th goal scored, tonight being the 8th match. And what was a fairly stingy set of first legs. Probably argue that León and NYCFC put themselves in the best position after the first leg, 2-goal advantages garnered on the road. Pineda. Questionable ball across opens the door to Guastatoya. Ball slid ahead and back to the goalkeeper. Jorge Vargas was sneaking in, and Tecil able to get a deflection to it, send it to Cota. That ball hung in the air for a long time. Gil Baron waited. Quarter hour gone. León maintaining their 3-0 aggregate advantage. All the attention went to Martinez. Let's open the door for Hernandez. Turned over and laced in, but it won't count. Well, you got to appreciate Ambriz. He's got a smirk on his face. There's the foul. Damian Parchment putting whistle to lips just as that ball got released. De Lemos never even went for it. Pineda. Via hot pursuit. Vargas. Vargas, that deflects off Cota. The rebound's cleared. And León started into a higher gear. They've slowed. And now Martinez left alone. Martinez is in. Good sliding challenge to send that wayward.
Venga afición, vamos equipo.
That ball is going to haunt Guastatoya as long as they continue to find themselves so unbalanced. Would the flag have gone up? Tough to tell off the first angle, but Ruben Morales confirms merely a corner. Service whipped across to the backside, gets out, peels both ways. Federico Martinez trying to find the goal-scoring form that made him a reported $2.5 million acquisition. Turned over to León. Martinez stripped from behind. Make no mistake, Martinez's numbers at Liverpool and Uruguay very strong. Finished 7 goals in 11 games in his last campaign there. Pushed ahead, Kyle Macher. Hernandez. Short of Ormeño. This will stay in. Fernandez. So Adrian de Lemos goes to work. He started games at Cruz Azul. He's started at Tigres in Champions League. Now can add León to his passport, so to speak. Hernandez scored in the 24th minute of the first leg. He's outdone himself. He scores in the 11th minute here tonight. León lead 3-0 in totality, 1-0 on the night. Winner will see either Motagua or the more heavily favored Seattle Sounders. Return from Hernandez, spliced out. Marquez lost by Vargas. Fernandez. Seal for Colombato. Arrived on loan 6 months later. more permanent stay at León for Santiago Colombato. Entering from Belgium. From the wide area, León. From the end line, Martinez! Tried to tee up the spectacular. It's still alive through Villa. Hernandez to the back post. Ball's played down. De Lemos trying to recover. He has now. Armeño whacking away at it in front of goal. So while De Lemos is attended to, here's a look at the attempted spectacular. Just didn't catch it right. Martinez trying to find any way to get on the score sheet. All the while, good from De Lemos to keep that away initially. And a couple efforts from Armeño after Dominguez and De Lemos had gone to ground trying to cover this. Baron trying to put that in a more enviable scoring position, nearly did so. Jordi Cifuentes, just for a moment, get up and stretch out any lactic acid. De Lemos will continue for now. Pineda. Martinez doing a bit too much. He'll get a second bite of the apple, but not before a foul. Free kick given. Coop being helped up and Villa getting a taste of the more professional life. Coming up from the under-20s, Villa making his León first team debut after time with Pachuca's academy. Making the move over to León a couple years ago. Already appeared with Mexico's under-18s and the under-20s. Only in friendlies at this stage. Can Guastatoya find the first of what ultimately needs to be 3 road goals? Marco Rivas. Ball skitters through. There's a chance to get that away. Appeal for handball. Whipped back across. Came up short of Dominguez. Struck on the first time. Comes back out. Ball settled by Hukup. Turning Pineda. Rolls back. Floated forward. Was going to come up short of Vargas. And now struck from 35 yards. Well out of play. And Mario Acevedo looks on. Very tight on the initial ball through. Here's the first attempt by Guastatoya really to press. crack that code easily enough. Huku puts it out. Estadio León, built in the 60s. Hosts a World Cup competition, holds about 32,000. Struck early, and breeze for Hernandez. Hernandez puts it wide, ball across, and speared over the bar. Martinez was trying to hold up with the ball put out before it reached him. Heavy dose of Santiago Ormeño, whose grandfather played in the Peruvian national team back in the 40s and 50s. Santiago Ormeño, born in Mexico City, is capped 7 times for the Peruvian national team over these last couple of years. Here's Ormeño. Turn to Hernandez, Colombato. Captain Vargas. Kept away from Landine. It was interesting hearing Ariel Holland talk about the performance against Chivas. Perhaps the early frustration as Liga MX Clausura rolled wide here for León. Floated early, punched away by De Lemos. Seemed to come in a little bit awkwardly, caught him on the wrong foot. León manager speaking to the fact that sometimes you feel like you deserve to win, you lose. This is kept alive, struck wide. And Breeze, precocious 18-year-old. Relative neophyte. Debuted a couple of years ago in the Mexican First Division. Bypassed the challenge, kept his feet. It's been a fun watch. Early going of Champions League. Nevertheless, for León, it felt like a couple of games got away from them early in this Clausura. The frustration perhaps was there. And ironically, manager felt like the game against Chivas, that a draw was probably a more fair representation of the game, and yet Osvaldo Rodriguez is the one who scored in the 4th minute of stoppage time. Stole the extra 2 points, put León in the upper half of the table. Short for Rivas, return to Hernandez. Reyes flicked onward, Landin trying to bring this down. And there's no support at all for Luis Angel Landin. Bounces through to Reyes. Landin couldn't take hold. Mentioned León's disappointment in Champions League. For Guastatoya, this their second foray into Champions League. Qualified in 2019. Fell 3-1 on aggregate to Houston Dynamo, including the penultimate goal scored in the career of DeMarcus Beasley, who's since gone into club management in Fort Wayne, Indiana in the US. Wide ball, circumnavigated into the box. De Lemos got a touch back toward the end line in an attempt to clear. Pineda's done just that. That was momentary, however, the relief. Attempt by Ormeño. He siphoned this off. De Lemos getting his fingertips to that. On the cusp of no man's land. Cota. Player hoping nothing more than a talking to here. Dominguez succeeded there. Back to Cota. You'd have to think this is the first team to qualify for Champions League with 2 CONCACAF Champions League Golden Glove winners available for selection. Cota in 2018 with Chivas. Alfonso Blanco, 2017 at Pachuca. An embarrassment of riches. To be fair, hasn't been much for Cota to do at this point. Pushed ahead, Hernandez. He's got the goal in the 11th minute. Cleared off the doorstep, chasing out Baron. Colombato, a gorgeous assist already. Peels this back, Hernandez. Rolled up the line. Service across, chipped away. Ormeño continuing to chase. He's helped to win it back. Tesil. Hernandez inside. Martinez wants the return. León cleared for takeoff. See Martinez from this area become quite dangerous quite quickly. And Breeze. Martinez stayed in the wide area. Hernandez ripped away. Eusebius Hernandez of Guastatoya. And now Guastatoya can run out the other way. And Landin likely, yes, indeed, will find himself in the book for that. Just not entirely necessary from Landin. And you can't blame him for frustration. He's made peace there with Gary Cajelmacher. One game Real Madrid for Cajelmacher. Iker Casillas, Raul, Gonzalo Higuain, Ryan Robin. Played significantly for the second team at Madrid and then began a lengthy and circuitous route through Europe into South America, and the native of Montevideo, before coming up to Mexico. This is now the fourth international club competition he's featured in. Copa Sudamericana, Copa Libertadores, and Europa League. Add CONCACAF Champions League to the mix. Baron. Elias Hernandez. Lombato's coming to the ball. Guastatoya's marked him in midfield. I'm sure Villa entirely saw that coming. Room here for León to roam. Played early. De Lemos this time able to control. Vargas to the backside. A touch from Cota came off Landin. It's a Guastatoya team that, well, benefited from what was a very odd circumstance in Concacaf League. For one, give them immense credit on away goals. Pushed out Alajuelense of Costa Rica in the round of 16. Urging an attack in the wide area. Colombato. Served forward to Seal. That'll get out. So Guastatoya enters into CONCACAF League a year ago, which ultimately qualifies its top 6 teams from the field into Champions League. They advance on away goals in dramatic fashion against Alajuelense of Costa Rica. And then they move on after Inter Moengotapo and Olimpia, the heavily favored side from Honduras, were disqualified from the competition in their segment of the bracket. This will roll all the way through to Cota. So Guastatoya, having played 2 matches, had already qualified for Champions League by way of being a semi-finalist, where ultimately they faced off against Comunicaciones. Aside from their own country, fell to them, and Comunicaciones ultimately 6-3 aggregate winners over Motagua in the final. Nonetheless, Guastatoya came what they ultimately had hoped to attain in very short order in CONCACAF League last year. And their second Champions League appearance all in a 4-year span, 2019 and in 2022. Right now it appears they are earmarked for the same fate. They fell 3-1 to Houston then. They're down 3-0 on aggregate as we approach halftime in León. Spry from Pineda, and Martinez unhappy that he ultimately allowed that to come off of him, but probably not as unhappy as the person holding that camera. 1 added minute in this first half. Landin chasing. Dominguez. Macher from the back for León. Sprung forward. Martinez dicing through. Turning back Hernandez. He's got Villa behind him, but instead Colombato. Now Villa. Villa delivers. It's a decent cross. Colombato now, final seconds of this first half, and that will take us to halftime. Hernandez scores his second in the round of 16, the 24th minute of the opener, and now he scored in the 11th minute in the return leg. Guastatoya has a mountain to climb, 3 goals down if they're to come back and move on to the quarterfinal. But Club León was the favorite. They were the side in the hierarchy expected to advance, and so far they've done the job at Estadio León in Mexico. 1 half down, 1 to go. On the night, León 1, Guastatoya 0 on aggregate in the round of 16 in Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. It is Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. It is the round of 16, the second leg. Guastatoya far from home in Guatemala, taking on León of Mexico, and what was a really physical opening 10 minutes. Best opportunity in the opening 10 for León came from their winger from Montevideo, Federico Martinez. But 1 minute later, it's number 11 in the 11th minute. Hernandez has now scored twice in the tie. He joins Christian Bolaños of Saprissa, top scorer in the competition. Drives this by on picture-perfect service from Colombato. The Lemos had no chance. 1-0 León, 3-0 on aggregate after grabbing 2 goals in the opening leg in Guatemala. Chances would not subside for Martinez and León. Good sliding effort in from Ruben Morales to save a potential second for León on the night. Romeno takes a couple cracks at this, unable to put it on frame. De Lemos appeared to have been kicked in the process. The physicality continued. Villa going in. Landin would go in moments later. That's Ormeño putting it over the bar. Landin getting knocked down by Tecillo. Menyo showing off such class on the ball for a guy who plays so big. The ability to play so minutely with the ball at his feet. Decent clearance out of harm's way. The service at times was exquisite from León. And ultimately would be a fair challenge. This, however, would not be. Landin going into the book in the 39th minute of play. Picks up the yellow card. 1-0 at the half, 3-0 in aggregate to León. Well, the statistics in the first leg heavily weighted toward León and Guatemala. Same can be said here tonight. Possession in favor of the home side, 68-32. Shots similar to a week ago, 7-2. And it was a physical first half. Only one card to show for it. 10 total fouls. León leads 1-0 on the night. In the aggregate in the round of 16 of CONCACAF Champions League, it is León 3, Guastatoya 0 in a jam-packed week of round of 16 action leading up to the quarterfinals.
El fair play y el mutuo respeto son fundamentales en el fútbol. La conducta discriminatoria no está permitida. Los pedimos que respeten los sencillos de los problemas que tomen parte del mundo con espíritu de unidad, respeto e igualdad. Apoya a tu equipo votando por el mejor jugador del partido. Vota en Twitter vía @TheChampions.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Time may be running short for Adrian de Lemos and Guastatoya. Their Champions League journey is 45 minutes from conclusion unless a monstrous comeback is in waiting here tonight in León. León 3, Guastatoya 0 with 45 minutes to play in this round of 16 two-legged tilt. The side from Guatemala, led by a 36-year-old striker at the tail end of his career, back on his native land, hoping he can steal a goal early, perhaps spark the kind of comeback of which legends are made. The lights shine tonight by their lonesome in Champions League at Estadio León. Danian Parchment, all smiles as the second half set to commence here momentarily. Guastatoya, such an intriguing route into Champions League, their second appearance. But León certainly felt like a team of destiny coming in. Can they seal the deal? Into the second half we go. From Guatemala, it's Guastatoya. From Mexico, it is Club León. 3-0 to the home side as we enter the second half of the second leg in the round of 16. With surely a number of eyes looking in from the Pacific Northwest and Seattle. Could there possibly be an upset in this corner of the bracket? Motagua, fans in Honduras, likely he's keeping a peering eye on this. No changes at halftime. There's the early push from Martinez. Also on this half of the bracket, Comunicaciones 1-0 up on Colorado. Late goal there. NYCFC 2-0 up over Santos de Guapolis. The corner taken short. Deflects into the stands again. Once more, Rivas played short, header down, steered off target with Landin hunting on the backside. I gotta say, it's been a fun ride for Mario Acevedo. Played in the Guatemalan League for Comunicaciones, won the title 3 times there. The first Nicaraguan-born coach to win a foreign first division domestic trophy as a manager. Surely plenty positive to come from Acevedo. Here's the header. A bit closer on the second glance, wasn't it? Colombato rolls it wide. Further León gets along here, more likely they'll be able to be a little more expansive with their bench. But largely their bench tonight made up of starters. Jean Meneses, Luis Montes, Victor Davila. Andres Mosqueda, the center back, is available. You'd argue maybe Jose Ramirez would make some sense. Ivan Rodriguez has played quite a bit. Didn't feature a week ago. A lot of talk from the León staff that the work here wasn't finished. That's why this is a first-team lineup, all things considered. Barón. Some Karamata play. But ultimately, they felt they need to be assertive with both their decisions tactically and with the players. They acknowledge, hey, they're not machines, and that's a conversation that probably isn't had enough at the international level. Playing every 3 days, feeling the wear of that. Ball deflects back. Slaloming through, Martinez chopped down. That's a fair challenge. Attempt to lasso that from Landin. Comes out the other side. I'll take a look at Martinez, and that is a painful trailing leg in from Christian Reyes. Tecillo rolls back to Cota. Take another look at this. The slip over the ball allows Martinez to keep it, and then in goes Reyes. It's part of this Guastatoya team when they made a run into Champions League in 2019. Nice little build up here, Hukup. Landin slides down. The whistle's gonna blow, and Landin's gonna feel hard done here. He's on a yellow card. You have to think the referee see that inevitable slip from Landin. More than likely it's a talking to. He sort of slipped into this a little bit and then ultimately powered through. So at most, nothing more than a stern talking to for Landin. Yeah, that lights a fire under León. Look at all the space they have in which to play. The return, Embreeze. That's gonna swing off target. Caught the arm of Landin. ultimately taken back by Dominguez. That'll roll through. Turned over, that is a poor back pass from Reyes. Reyes comes in from behind, and he's taking it off Hernandez. That looked like desperate measures. Perfectly won. Landin is running through. Good chance he would have been found to be offside. Play continues. Angling wide, Vargas. Landin alone in the box. Landin made contact. Snuck under the foot of Rivas. Colambato finding Fidel Ambriz. Slide in, free kick won by León. And what a dangerous place to get one. Huku pleading his case. And Martinez catches the latest bit of physical flack. On the dribble, you can see what's so enticing about Martinez, who came in during the winter transfer window from Uruguay. And then the previous sliding challenge. Reyes sliding in, Dominguez had held the fort down. Colambato has taken a lot of the set pieces from this range. See him on the left, but Martinez is the one who's in such desperate desire of a goal. Martinez did in fact go for goal. Reyes pressuring Cota. Simple. Rivas found the backside, caromed off of Villa. Corner Guastatoya. Cards to be exchanged. In Champions League this year, 5 substitutions allowed over 3 windows. It's being taken by the police-drawn awning. Corner Guastatoya. Not before a stoppage, and Vargas and Villa tangled. Corner, header down, steered wide by Morales. Here are the changes for León. As was the case in the first leg, Colambato gets into the early stages of the second half and comes off. So obvious how he can pull the strings out of central midfield. And he does the job again here tonight. Luis Montes come on. And then Victor Davila will come in as well. He scored and assisted against Chivas. And Elias Hernandez, 2 goals in the round of 16. Certainly hopes as he walks off. His team 3 goals ahead on aggregate, and with Guastatoya struggling to really threaten for a first. And he'll have a chance to add to that total come the quarterfinals in 2 weeks' time. Nice through by Breeze. Ball finding Landin from Rivas. And now León nearly off on the run. It's a well-deserved rest for Hernandez. Martinez. He grimaced as he released that ball. Press arrives twice over. Free kick, León. Card comes to Hernandez. Caught him on the foot. When you bring a player like Davila off the bench, that's really the worst nightmare. Over 2,000 minutes played going back to the start of the Apertura. Acquired for what was rumored to be a princely transfer fee a couple of years ago. Only the second card issued in this game as well. Lemos is leaving a little bit of room here, but this is a long way out. The wall is 2 for Guastatoya. Ball struck forward. Decent from Montes. Davila is still having words. Argue the best thing León can do from here is get out unscathed. Tempers flaring a little bit. Now it's Jose Marquez taking offense. And all the while, struck right at Cota. Well, what an excellent goal that could have been. If not for Cota's good reflexes. Landin trying to spark a momentous comeback if it were to come. Even a draw or a win here for Guatemalan football is still a big deal. So infrequent against Mexican teams. No Guatemalan team has ever gone away to Mexico in CONCACAF Champions League and won a match. And Breeze. And Breeze helping to create. He's got Montez in front of him, but instead chooses Baron. Nice dissecting stuff from Davila. Davila taken down again. This time it's Reyes. He perfectly timed a similar challenge earlier in the half on the cusp of the penalty area. And the León captain who took over the armband upon entering, Luis Montez, having a few words. Montez steps over. Davila off the wall. Landin, he's through, making a run. That is ultimately cut off by Villa. Got released before he crossed midfield, and Villa, in his first appearance in the first team, does good damage control. Jose Ramirez, Jean Meneses will wait for León. Landin. Rivas wins a throw. Martinez, whose time in this match may well be running out. Davila. You have to feel for Federico Martinez to an extent. The opportunities he created. Corner to come. Will León make their changes now or wait? Well, the answer provided. So Federico Martinez comes off. Still without a goal. 6 appearances now. 300 minutes into his time at León. Meneses comes in. His 4th year playing with León. Chilean full international. And then Omar Hernandez comes off. He's watched the Puebla side that he left last year catapult all the way to the top of the standings in the Clausura. Of course, there's a very long way to go there. Corner across, they'll do it again. Corner remarkably, I suppose, kept in. Hukup. You got the feeling, while Guastatoya obviously entered Champions League near the top of the table. Now they are top of the table in Guatemala, believing that they could get a result against León. A lot of positive talk about how they maintained themselves in the first leg after falling behind 2-0. It's not that León could not have gotten more. They certainly could have in that first leg, and even in the second leg's first half. Couple decent looks with last-ditch defending from Guastatoya. But on the whole, you'd argue it's been a fairly compact Guastatoya side. They've been beaten by that long, arcing diagonal ball a couple of times. Meneses, as dangerous as they come. Equally dangerous, that clearance from Dominguez. Gliding inward to Ambriz. Veron. Meneses. The return. Meneses chopping this up, swinging the service. Ambriz. Davila. Davila picking out a target late in front for Ormeño. And there's Pineda. Service for León. As far as Meneses. Clips back across the header. Snagged by De Lemos. And that'll be a good view of Tecillo's effort. Appeal for a handball. Referee allows play to continue. Meneses. He pulls you to the edge of your seat as he pulls across field. Ambriz, Veron, Davila. The hold up for Ormeño, still with León. Guastatoya have two reserves waiting to enter. Wondered at the beginning of the night if Matias Galvaliz could come in late and make an impact. It's looking less and less likely after missing the first leg altogether. Davila. Meneses. Victor Davila. Oh, he's put this over nicely. Meneses. Good possession. Doesn't come with the ultimate reward, however. Ormeño the target. Would have been held onside by Dominguez, who was a bit slow stepping forward, it appeared. And that was the appeal for the handball. And And no one had a better view of that than Mario Acevedo. Meneses ricochets off Dominguez. Those are the changes waiting for Guastatoya. Will come after they defend the set piece, it appears. Meneses crossing. Rolling inside once more, falls inside the penalty area, coming off his line to Lemos. The referee blows the foul in the other direction. For the amount of service that has ultimately made it into the penalty area, it's a bit surprising there hasn't been more to show on the score sheet. Cahill Macher, who collided with De Lemos. Here are the changes. Nicolas Martinez replaces Marquez. Clearly an attack-minded move. And then Marco Rivas comes off. And this is Freddie Orellana coming on. His first Champions League appearance since the first leg against Houston Dynamo in 2019. Veteran of approaching 250 games for Guastatoya over 8 years. There's Orellana. Martinez. Ball was taken away. Slide in there, catching the back. The legs of León player Meneses. Caught him on the heel. At some point, you would think Reyes is going to get a yellow card for persistent infringement. León 3, Guastatoya 0, 1-0 in the second leg. Guastatoya finds a way to 3 here down the stretch. They could, in fact, turn this over, but that's a long way away. Adrian De Lemos calling for the athletic trainer and gesturing to his left arm. Almost looks like they're adding WD-40. He continues to flex this out. Here was the knock between him and Cahill Macher. That high extended shoe may well have dragged there on De Lemos's elbow a little bit, and then the way he falls on it at the end, that's where he really barks. And Jordi Cifuentes is up and moving again, the 20-year-old who's started just 6 matches over the last 12 months.
Venga afición, que se escuche el rabioso apoyando a nuestro equipo. Todos juntos gritando. ¡León!
Guastatoya clear the halfway line. Oriana. The appeal for the early ball was denied. Continues through Reyes. Now he floats. Header back across. Landin closest to it. Landin's picked up a second ball. Cota self-assured that he, in fact, had seen Landin touch it last. Decent header. Here we go. There's the touch. Well, okay. Landin may have gotten away with this one, eh? It's a corner, and it is cleared. Better opportunities for Guastatoya in this game. There was a pause from Hukup, and then he makes that all too familiar motion. Jorge Vargas need to come off here with the 11 minutes and stoppage to go. We will, in fact, see Matias Galvaliz. String puller in the Argentine lower divisions. Handful of seasons at Motagua. Played in a really impressive Champions League draw with Motagua against Atlanta United of MLS. So Vargas, one of the leading goal scorers for Guastatoya in their domestic campaign, has to come off now. Ball clips over here. This is a moment in which there's only 10 on the field for Guastatoya. And Galvaliz tried to give the ball directly to Oriana as if to restart play when he himself hasn't come into the game yet. He advances from ball boy to leading man. Galvaliz on Vargas comes off. That is 3 changes, 2 windows for Guastatoya. León still has 1 more sub in their arsenal for their final window. With 9 minutes to play plus stoppage in the second leg of the round of 16. Who joins New England with a quarterfinal ticket? Let's go screaming all the way through. Winner of this will see either Motagua or Seattle. Quarterfinals will begin on March the 8th. Continue midweek there. Second legs will be played the following week. Champions League final in CONCACAF this year. First leg, yes, first of 2 legs. We are back to a 2-legged final. The last midweek of April and the first midweek of May. See the newest champion crowned. León making their last change. That's Andres Mosquera, the Colombian center back. Help close this out. Unrelenting. That'd be a good way to describe Mosquera. Do not envy trying to get through he and Steven Barreto moving forward. And Gil Baron comes off in these dying minutes. Most minutes Baron has played since the turn of the new year. Should be the end of the substitutions on this night in León. Nestor Hukub comes off. He's replaced by Carlos Alvarado. It's the fourth sub, but third window used by Guastatoya, so that should be that. It's a trio running forward for León. Reyes has gone to look in again. What a physical presence he's been. Gets the ball first. Kind of slide designed. Get fans up off their seat and lift an arm. Here comes León to the edge of the penalty area. De Lemos to ground. Adequately snuffs that out. That was Jose Ramirez. There are still some really intriguing round of 16 fixtures coming in Champions League this week. There's Ramirez, who hasn't scored in the Mexican division yet this year. He's won Copa MX, and he came out of the second division a couple years ago before ultimately making his debut under Tata Martino in 2021. Santos Laguna will go to Montreal, only 1-0 up. Cruz Azul will host Canadian Premier League debutant in Champions League, Forge FC. That's just a 1-0 game. León 3-0 up here. From the edge of the penalty area, floated across. Meneses heads this down. De Lemos leapt out on it. But far and away, the two most intriguing round of 16 fixtures right now is Landin. Cota knew he was leaving the penalty area, drops that out in front of himself. Saprissa and Pumas, 2 goals apiece. Comunicaciones leads after their home leg against Colorado Rapids. That game's gonna be played in rough conditions. Montez the shot, that blocked. Well, it's kept alive here. Davila pulled that off frame. Landin unable to create much in this second half. León continues to pummel the box without the results really to show for it. Landin, by the way, did feature around Pachuca the same time Cota first broke into the first team. Those two have been teammates now in the better part of 15 years. This from a long way out makes Cota second guess a bit. Oriana pushing that on target with a lot of knuckle. Hit that on the outside of his shoe a bit in a way that gave Cota pause. León would like to get one more, if only to give the fans one last glimpse here. Not much in question at this point. Meneses. Oh, that's likely one too many from Reyes. Yeah, he's got to get in the book at some point here. Whether he believes that's card worthy or not is irrelevant, and whether he feels he'd been hard done by the fouls he conceded previously is also irrelevant. At some point you have to recognize that Reyes had picked up 4, maybe 5 fouls in a similar fashion. And while at times he did get this right, that is dangerously close to causing a real problem. Look at how those legs come together, and look at how that ankle twists underneath. Good to see everybody up at the end of that. Two minutes of stoppage time in front of the assembled 6,405 at Estadio León. Bouncing to the top of the 18, Guastatoya on the run. They've scored 1 goal in their Champions League history against Houston in 2019. Well, and the kind of yellow card that may come back to haunt you later in the tournament. Kyle Macher continuing to have words here with Ruben Morales. Former Real Madrid player booked here in the dying minutes. Extending through Alvarado. Here to try and pull out of that a bit. Or perhaps simple physics required it. There's something here at the end for Guastatoya. It'll be a corner. León had never won a knockout tie in CONCACAF Champions League. This is their 4th try in totality, limited by Herediano in 2014, LAFC in 2020. In 2021 by Toronto FC in front of no fans in Orlando by a team with no true home at the time. There was a clergyman out on the field before this game began, apparently blessing the field with water. Well, the demons are exorcised now for León in Champions League. They have in fact advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time. Hernandez 2 goals in the tie. León 3-0 on aggregate, eliminate Guastatoya of Guatemala. Club León will move on to face either Seattle Sounders or Motagua. Highlights from this second leg in the round of 16 of Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Only 3 Guatemalan sides have ever beaten Mexican teams in Champions League in 27 tries. They have never done it on Mexican soil. Trailing 2-0 entering the second leg. It was León that far and away looked the better side from the very beginning. Elias Hernandez scores for the second time in the round of 16. He scored in the 24th minute, ultimately the tie winner. He scores the game winner in both matches in the round of 16. And give credit to Santiago Colombato for jaw-dropping standard of service and a clean finish by Hernandez. 1-0 at halftime, 3-0 on aggregate. Whistle blew from Danian Parchment of Jamaica onto the second half of play. Jean Meneses came in the second half. The level of service was impressive in the grand scheme. Kyle Macher, the beneficiary of an iffy attempt at a headed clearance. He would catch De Lemos, who landed hard. Would be attended to moments later. Looking at that elbow. And Luis Angel Landin back in Mexico trying to score against León. Turn back the clock a bit. Unable to get it by his former teammate Rodolfo Cota. León would attempt a few more efforts at goal. De Lemos ultimately would not see his net breached again. Davila swinging this narrowly wide of the post. And so Club León wins it in this round of 16 tie, the first to be played out in the round of 16. León moves on 3-0 over Guastatoya of Guatemala. For our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying so long.